Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another special edition stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk a little bit of transfers. We're here to talk next season's title race. There's so many topics on display for you guys today. We're going to be talking Josko Gvardiol signing for Manchester City. We're even going to touch on Szoboszlai signing for Liverpool Football Club. We're going to touch about Arsenal almost completing the signing of Rice alongside the signings of man like Timber and all of that good stuff. So there's so much transfer content coming your way. But we're going to look at the football side too. Today, we're not just going to talk transfers. We're also going to talk who's going to win the league next season. Next season's title race. Before I introduce the panelists, everyone watching us right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch this on the replay, please do not forget to slap the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single person watching us right now, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you haven't shared it. Help the channel out, my lovely, lovely, lovely people. Please do like, please do subscribe, Habibis. And big up everyone for their support over the months. And this year, you know, June, we've done an unbelievable June. Alhamdulillah, it's been unreal this month. Last month, and July, inshallah, is even better. So big up to you guys. Slap up the like button, make sure you're subscribing. And let me introduce today's panelists. He may remind you of the meme, man's just here, innit? But he's not just here. He's here because he's a Man United fan. He hates all three teams, you know. So it's not like he likes any of the teams that are coming up in the title race. So he's here to tell us his opinion from the outside looking in, representing Manchester United, wearing their ugly ass t-shirt. None other than the man who's here to not talk about Mason Mount. I promise we're not going to bring him up. Man like Staffy, how you doing, Habibi?
Habibi, if these intros don't improve, I'm going to have to look for another channel to go on because I don't like that. But it sounded like you're describing me as a judge today. And when
I
you
hope
say
you're
the
not a
word
corrupt judge. I
when you
hope
say
you're
the
not a
word
corrupt judge like your country, man. I'm just saying.
I was about to say, when you say the word judge, it reminds us of one person, the corrupt Judge Mo. But alhamdulillah, he's not here today. And I promise you, even though Judge is not in my Twitter name or anything, I will be a better judge than him. But thank you for having me.
Can you promise you're not going to be as corrupt as Judge Mo? Be honest.
Habibi, it's very hard to be that corrupt. You know, the ceiling is so high, I don't think it could reach that.
That's
Trust me.
true. I think you cannot find bigger corruption than that. I'm going to be honest with you. Anyway, joining us on the channel, speaking of corruption, Arsenal fans. I'm just kidding. Speaking of corruption, Manchester City fan is here to join us. Corruption in itself. This guy, he's shameless, but he knows when we're seriously here to talk football, we're seriously here to talk football. Great guy. You've seen us on the Spaces talk today. Me and him were actually speaking today on this topic on Twitter Spaces. He was the co-host as well. I can't lie. I think we annoyed Uncle Belgium a little bit. Big up Uncle Belgium. Joining us on the channel is treble winner 2022, 2023, member of the title race just by existing. Man like Hamza is in the building. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm enjoying my summer. No stress. I'm watching. I'm listening to all of you salty fans. There's your salt trophy. Take it. Take the salt. Take it. I'm enjoying it. UCL winner, Premier League winner, FA Cup, treble champion, invincible UCL winner. Come on.
You're welcome, Hamza. You're welcome. This is your second house, Habibi. Anytime you want to come on, hit me up, my brother. I will get you on. My guy, man. My guy. Big up Hamza, as per usual. And finally, last but not least, repping Arsenal Football Club. It was his idea. I'm going to give him credit that we all wear our club shirts. So me and Staffy went to change before, and he also put on his Arsenal t-shirt because we're going to be talking title race next season. The man, the myth, the legend, always repping Arsenal on all platforms, was also on the space earlier on. Man like Igal has joined us on the channel. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm here to balance out the delusion from Hamza. Let's do it.
That's my job. I'm the judge today. Call me Judge Staffy.
Okay.
Staffy?
If you need help, I'm here for you.
I can't lie.
I'm here for you.
That's not going to catch on still. Judge Staffy is not going to catch on.
It's
Anyway.
Sunday, it's all good.
Comment section. 200 people up in here. Like the video, subscribe. I haven't even started yet. Hamza, I want to start with you. We said we're going to talk a little bit of transfers at the start. Gvardiol is going to be a Manchester City player. It was even reported by Paul Joyce today. He was actually a Liverpool reporter, so everyone knows. Staffy, there's a question for you before we go to Hamza.
Well, if AJ cleans his ears and he would hear what Hussam said in the intro, he said we needed someone who is not belonging to these three teams. So I'm more of a judge today. I didn't even want to wear this jersey. They asked me to wear it. But thank you for the super chat. Next time, listen carefully.
On your head top, AJ. Big up, AJ, though. So, Hamza, Josko Gvardiol is a Man City player. Talk to me about the signing. And if you want to touch on Kovacic as well. Just tell me about your summer so far.
I think our summer's always excellent, like in terms of our recruitment's brilliant. Like if you've researched Man City's recruitment, we're probably the best run club in the world. Like if you look at, people say about 115 charges, whatever it is, but if you ask every football club, like everyone says, how can we be Man City? How can we be Man City? Because you just don't get here by chance. You get here by fantastic recruitment, fantastic structure, owner who cares, but it's a very well-run club. So this year, our first signing was Kovacic. I think is the signing of the season so far. I think for the price we got him, I thought McAllister was. Because to me, I think McAllister is. Because McAllister for 35 million is a steal. I'm looking at the price and I'm looking at the player you got. So Kovacic for 25 million is a no-brainer. It's like Thiago Alcantara when he came to Liverpool, 30 million. That's a steal. You don't get players like that at that price. Like, he's a fantastic footballer, played with great players like Rakitic, Brozovic, Modric. He's good on the ball. He can drive the ball forward. He's confident on the ball. And he's a brilliant technical player. So to me, that signing is just world class. Like, there's no doubt about it. If our medical team can keep him fit, there's no doubt about it, he'll do damage. Like, to me, he's a fantastic signing. Secondly, if this is true, I think Gvardiol, to me, I've always said it way before, Gvardiol is the best centre-back that I've ever seen at the age of 20. I've never seen any young defender at the age of 20. Yeah, command in defense.
Saliba?
Very good on the ball.
Saliba?
Yeah, at 20. We're talking about 20. Where was Saliba when he was 20? Where was Saliba when he was 20?
Marseille versus Mbappe.
There you are.
Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi putting in masterclasses, getting Champions League football with Marseille. Mal Ilone.
No. Okay, let me define that.
The guy, because he's Brazilian.
Listen, the difference is Saliba can't even start for France. Saliba cannot start for.
If Saliba was playing for Croatia, he'd be the best player after Modric.
He doesn't. I've seen Saliba getting substitute at halftime against Denmark. I watched France-Denmark.
Hamza, if it wasn't for copyright infringement, we would be listening to you right now saying, "Baby, calm down." Saliba, we need him at Man City.
No, he's good. I'm not saying Saliba's a bad player, but I'm just saying Varane.
I put up a poll.
Konate,
who's better at 20? Hamza, your argument is who's better at 20, right?
At 20, yeah. At 20 years old.
Okay, so khalas, I put up a poll, comments, vote on it. Let's see who. Go on, Hamza.
So to me, a player who's so intelligent, he's physically strong, he's got pace, and he's playing at the level, at top level. He was voted the third best player in the World Cup at the age of 20. Deep it. R9 has never been that good at the age of 20. He wasn't voted the third best player. Yeah, R9 was 1994. No, I'm not saying. Baresi, I promise you, Gvardiol is an exceptional centre-back. For 85 million pounds plus add-on is a steal. Because if City didn't get him, this season...
How much?
85 million plus add-ons. 85
million pounds plus add-ons. How much is the add-ons?
No, I think it's 100 million euros, which is in total of 85 million. I think there's 60 plus 20 million add-ons. I don't know. But we'll come to know later when we sign him.
Oh, so coincidentally, he doesn't know the addons.
It's apparently 100 million in total euros. Pounds.
Why are you putting brackets? Pounds. You know the price.
Yeah. Stop. 85 million pounds for a defender like when Liverpool signed Van Dijk, people laughed at him for 80 million pounds. I remember I was the biggest backer for Van Dijk. Yeah. To me, he's Van Dijk at the age of 20. Van Dijk at the age of 20. Mark my words. And to me, I will tell you, rivals. Yeah, it's the end of centre backs. Our centre back is the best. We sealed it. We're not conceding goals. We hardly will concede goals because I think we will have Diaz, Stones, and thing. These are general commanders.
Hamza, when you get to Virgil van Dijk, you need to chill. The reason why
he said Virgil van Dijk at 20. That was a
Virgil van Dijk. No. He's saying he means he has Virgil's skill set at 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That he's Virgil van
Dijk almost won a Ballon d'Or. He was one vote away from beating the greatest player of all time, Lionel Messi. Okay. So when you're talking Van Dijk, we're talking levels to this game. So we need to just chill when it comes to Van Dijk.
This is when I interrupt. One second. Finish and I'll go.
Yeah, big up Igal. Saliba greater than Gvardiol. Let's be honest, says Arbens. Thank you, Arbens, for the super chat. I can't lie to you. Gvardiol, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Saliba is better than him at 20. But here's the thing. Yes. And I would like to go see what Ferdinand was doing when he was 20, what John Terry was doing when he was 20. I'd like to go see what Jaap Stam was doing when he was at 20. There's so many great defenders when they were 20 years old, probably were banging at the time. Lucio.
By Leverkusen. Probably he was in the Bayern.
By Leverkusen, Lucio?
No. By Leverkusen, he was 23, 24. 20, he must have been in Brazil. No chance. No.
Let me ask a question. Igal, how old is Saliba now? Can you confirm it to me? Because I want to lead on to 22. Okay. So from my understanding, he was signed 3 years ago to Arsenal. I know he was on loan for 2 seasons, if I'm correct. Okay, so he was signed at Arsenal when he was 19. First of all, when you get 18? Okay. So when you get signed at 18 and you go to Arsenal and you're from the French league, I don't remember who they signed him from, but that's beyond the point. Going to Arsenal at 18... Okay, so going to Arsenal 18 already shows how talented you are and how much potential you carry. Okay, so he got signed by Arsenal, went on loan. We all know he had a very successful loan at Marseille. Okay, he started getting called up to the national team. Now that Varane is retired, it's going to be between him and Konate. I think he's going to play a lot. I personally watch him a lot. I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Arsenal, but Saliba is a top drawer player. Let's just be very honest.
Can I correct you? He was not
one second, Hamza.
He was at Nice.
Okay, it doesn't matter where. I just wanted to know that what time he went to.
Stop. No, so tell me what he came from Saint Etienne. Tell me games that you watched.
He came from Saint Etienne. He was absolutely killing it at Saint Etienne, and then he went back on loan to Saint Etienne after we bought him. Then the next year he went to Nice after.
That's where he was 21. He was
in January
21 that age.
1 second, bro. You're lying to the people.
Bro, go and check it now. I just checked it.
But that's beyond the point, guys. That's beyond the point. You're looking into like very minor details that are not needed.
My guy's playing at Nice. No way.
The issue is, Hamza, is that no one here is disputing that Gvardiol is a very good upcoming center back, okay? But what Saliba was doing at that age, at 20, you can argue it's better than Gvardiol is doing because he's playing for Bayer Leverkusen. Okay, so he played at Bayer Leverkusen, right?
Who?
What has he? Gvardiol. Where does he play?
Leipzig.
No, he plays for.
Oh, Leipzig. Sorry.
Leipzig,
my bad. I mixed up the teams. Yeah, RB Leipzig. Sorry. Okay, so he plays for RB Leipzig. There's nothing that he's done. Okay, he had a good World Cup, and that's what people start seeing him. But there's nothing that he's done at that age that you can sit here and shit on Saliba the way you did, because you can argue that Saliba had a better career at that age, because going to Arsenal at that young age and going on loan and locking up Mbappe and them in the Serie A. Sorry, not the Serie A, the Ligue 1, and coming back, and now the minute Arsenal got you back, you went ahead and did a title charge. So I think you're to big up your player, you're completely disrespecting Saliba, and this is the issue, because you couldn't just like make a fair comparison where you're just respecting both of them. You're trying to shit on Saliba, and this is what I don't get. You can. It's 100% your right to say your player is better, but why are you trying to shit on Saliba when no one else is trying to agree with it? Because we all know he's a top player. We've seen him. We're seeing what he's doing, and you can, as I said, you can argue that he had a better career at that age that you're comparing it to Gvardiol. That's all I'm saying.
I'll just say this. I just want to say this. Yeah, Gvardiol at the age of 19 won DFB Copa with Leipzig. He won it in 2021-22, 22-23. He was part of the FIFA World Cup third place team.
I said he had a
This
good
guy?
World
No,
Cup.
1 second. Was this guy did not even start? Did not even start.
But
Don't
he's
even
not going to start
bring
over
in that.
Varane.
No,
So,
don't even
Hamza,
bring
you
a
know
guy
that.
that does not even start for France. He
Hamza,
couldn't even start for
Playing
France.
for
1 second.
France is
Hamza.
different than playing for
Let me
Croatia,
finish.
Hamza.
Let me finish. Individual award. Yeah, he was part of the Bundesliga team of the season, men world team of the season. Yeah, at the age of under 20, team of the year in the World Cup. What are you doing? The third best player in the World Cup. You're comparing to a guy is sitting on the bench as a fourth choice centre back.
Who gets ahead of Gvardiol in Croatia?
Hamza,
Whereas
Hamza.
in France, you can say they have Varane, who's their team captain or co-captain or whatever it is. He's much more
1 second.
proven. He's
Let
won
me-
the World Cup. He
Let me
can't
add
get
one
ahead
more
of him.
thing. Let me add one more thing. Saliba in 2021 was how old? Do the math. He was 20 years old. If he's in 2023, if he's 22, in 2021, 2022 season, going into that season, he was 20 years old. And
was
in
at
that
Nice.
season, 1 second, in that season when he was 20 years old, he was team of the year in France, and he won the young player of the year in that league. Let's be honest. All the majority of the players that have won that young player of the year in France. You want me to name some of the players that have won that?
Yeah. Go on.
The Henrys, the Pearces, the Frank Ribery's, Mbappe's, Ousmane Dembele's. Like, let's be honest, Chouameni. Like, the guys who win these awards are the best of the best. The best talents in world football come from the French league. Let's be honest. I am not here shitting on Gvardiol, but what you are doing, Hamza, you are being a blind fan. You are backing your team and a player your team is about to sign without no logic.
I'm not comparing.
What is based on what skill set does your player have that is better than Saliba to say that he shits on him?
I think Saliba is better at 20, 100%. Big up AJ saying Gvardiol was in the World Cup team of the tournament. Look, here's the thing. I think he don't deserve
third best player in the World Cup.
I don't even think he deserves to be in the World Cup team of the tournament. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Gvardiol is a great defender right now, but I would definitely say Saliba at 20 was better because there's levels to this. With all due respect, come on, listen. Like, it's just and when you say of all time, you have to look at the likes of Maldini, you have to look at the likes of Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, players like that.
Where was Rio at 20? No, but be honest. He was at West Ham at 20. Yeah, I know, because then he went to Leeds at 22 or something.
Yeah, but at West Ham, Rio Ferdinand was very good at West Ham. What makes you think he was better?
No, I remember he was playing with John Moncan and with Glenn Johnson. No, he was okay.
He was
but he wasn't that great. Listen, Cannavaro, I could understand. He was playing at Parma at that age. Maldini in the 80s, he wasn't starting. Baresi, see, not many. And you guys, let me tell you something that you guys don't know, because you guys watch the Premier League and you don't watch the international football. Croatian players are fantastic at playing the ball. When they make it, they're beautiful. You can see they can play the ball. They're very comfortable. Gvardiol at the age of 20, there's never been a Croatian centre back that's as good as him. That's how much Croatian players are saying. Croatian are saying there's never been a centre back and Croatia is football heritage in the World Cup, like in the world. They've got 2 million population.
Name a top center back that came from Croatia. Dejan Lovren?
No. Let's not play it. Hey, listen. No,
those are the players I can think of.
No. There's many. There's that guy that used to be managing West Ham. I forgot his name. Later, I went blank.
Slavan
Bilic.
Yeah, Bilic.
That's
Bilic.
it.
But
that list didn't last long.
But look, let me just end it. Sam, let me end it. Yeah, Croatia. I went to Croatia. Croatians have said, and they've had Prosinecki, Zonomi Boban, world class. No one can talk about them. World class. They've had Davor Suka, Modric. They say Gvardiol sits with them. These are world class players. One of the greatest players. Prosinecki, Zonomi Boban. You guys have never heard of them. They're one of the greatest midfielders. You've never heard. They're that good. They say Gvardiol is as good as them. Saliba, go and ask French people about Saliba as one of the greatest centre back for France. They'll say Marseille Desailly and all that. They can come up.
The pool to pick from when it comes to France is much more bigger than Croatian. This is what I'm trying to get to you.
Yeah.
This is why when you try to diss him and
that's why Lovren started for Croatia even at his age.
Exactly. And this is what I'm trying to say. When you diss him and you say he was on the bench, he was benched for Varane. I don't think anyone could be embarrassed that he got benched by Varane. Now, if you're getting benched by a nobody in Croatia, which didn't happen, obviously, then you can have a conversation. But I just think the context does not make sense, Hamza. I think they're both great players. I think Saliba's better at 20. You can argue the other side where you're saying Gvardiol is better at 20, which is totally fine because you're a Man City fan. I just don't think you're doing Saliba justice. That's it. I think you should respect them a little bit more than you do.
And he's a Liverpool fan for Sam. He's a Liverpool fan. We know when we sign players who used to be Liverpool fans, Kevin De Bruyne, they turn out to be great players. So
that's good logic right there. That's good. You're so shameless, wallahi. Big up to Arbens who says there's context behind the loans. He lost both of his parents. World Cup hype with Croatia is a band-aid argument. Hamza is moving mad.
Hamza is not mentioning that he got dunked on 7-0 by his own team in the Champions League, but let's let it go.
That was Szoboszlai. That's Szoboszlai's fault.
Oh, that was Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai
taken off. Yeah, he got taken off. Yeah, the worst performance.
Szoboszlai wasn't the center back, man. Big up to you, Arbens. Thank you so much for the super chat. Listen, big up to Arbens. Big up to AJ. I just want to say to the poll, guys, you're not helping us because it's 50-50. 250 votes is 50-50. We need vote in the poll if you haven't voted yet. And I just want to say there's 500 people watching us right now. Big up to you guys. Make sure you're slapping the likes. Make sure you're subscribing. Big up to AJ. Big up to Arbens for the super chats. Every single person right now, this very second, slap that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Guys, we can't have 500 people watching us. We are not even on 200 likes yet, guys. What is this behavior? Like the video, yalla. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, man. You're moving like corrupt Judge Mo. Anyway, when it comes to transfers, I can't lie, from Arsenal, from Liverpool's perspective, I've already done 15 shows on Szoboszlai, so there's no need to do another one. With Arsenal, it's kind of the same regarding transfer news, because it's the same stuff essentially with Rice, with stuff like that. So I just want to kind of touch on the City side of things. And now that we've done that, it's time to talk football. Ladies and gentlemen, football. It's time to have that conversation. As you guys can see on the thumbnail, who is going to be in next season's title race? $1 million question. We're here to have that conversation. Who's going to win the league next year? Igal, as the challenger, I want to start with you. And then after that, we open the floor.
Okay. I think Manchester City are a great team. But I see this as an opportunity where they get a little bit, they slip up. This is where I think they slip up. Reason being, one, they've just won the treble. So, of course, they're obviously usually do see a fall off from a team when they reach the pinnacle. You don't tend to see them continue to strive for more. Also, they've just lost their best, one of their better players, not their best player, but one of their better players in Gundogan, who's their club captain. They could potentially lose more players with Bernardo Silva potentially also leaving. And I'm not going to lie to you. Although I rate Kovacic, I don't think you've actually gotten better. I think you've gotten worse with Gundogan leaving and Kovacic coming in. I don't look at him as a direct replacement. In addition to that, defensively, you might be improving with the likes of Gvardiol coming in. But I don't know what the rest of your window is at this moment in time. As it currently comes in, I think Man City going into next season are actually a worse team than they are this year. And Arsenal going into this season, I think we're a better team. Now, being that we also signed Declan Rice, we don't know what's happening with Xhaka and Partey, if they're going to leave or if they're going to stay. If we're going to bring in another midfielder, the window's not done yet, but we still need to see where we go from there. But at this moment in time, assuming that Xhaka leaves and Partey stays, or assuming that one of them leave and the other one doesn't stay, we've strengthened massively in the midfield. And going into next season, we have a lot more squad depth and one more year of experience going into that season with a quality player like Declan Rice in our midfield, in addition to Thomas Partey, in addition to, of course, Kai Havertz, who I don't know where he's going to play, but I'm looking at him as a utility piece that can play across the front three. I think we now have the squad depth and the capabilities to take it the full length with the experience coming in of a Declan Rice and a Kai Havertz. They might not have the experience to win the league, but they're Premier League proven. And what it allows us to do is to bring in players with a smooth transition. And I think Arsenal is going to be the clear favorites after Man City. But the reason why I have us over Man City is because I see Man City taking a decline and I see Arsenal filling that gap.
Well, I detected a lot of waffle in that.
ثواني بس يا Staffy. The poll is ended. Saliba won by 52%.
Oh, I didn't even mention Timber.
Yeah, Saliba won by 52%. So it was only a difference of 4%, but Saliba won the vote. And we got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Mason Mount will undergo medical tests on Monday. Then he's finally going to sign a 5-year deal as new Manchester United player. Contract until June 2028. It will also include an option to extend until June 2029. 55 million plus 5 million to Chelsea. Statement this week, just so you guys can are updated on the news. So Mount player, but we're gonna leave Man United alone because they're definitely not in the title. You have to respond.
Steffi,
To what
what did I
said
say that was waffle? Like you're saying I was waffling. What do you mean by that?
There was a little
Go
bit
on.
of waffle in there.
No, elaborate. Exactly what
I
did
will
I say?
elaborate. Stuff always elaborates. Don't worry. You don't have to ask me that twice. Here's the thing. The same thing that you used to argue why Hamza's team has gotten weaker is the same reason you used for your team to why you said they strengthened. So you talked about basically Gundogan out, Kovacic in, and Gvardiol in, and I'm assuming Laporte is leaving, which doesn't really make that much of a difference. Okay, so it's 2 for 2. You on the other side just explained that Xhaka's leaving, Partey might be leaving, but you strengthened because
one of
you
them
added.
are leaving, not both.
Okay, I said might be leaving, and you added Declan Rice, and you added Kai Havertz. Okay, yes, I get Timbers coming too, but I just want to talk about the midfield. That's also a like for like, where 2 are leaving and 2 are coming in.
But
Okay?
you're assuming they're both leaving. If they both are leaving, I agree with you. We haven't actually improved.
Well, you can't start both players. Okay, 1 is leaving and 2's coming in. It means 1 is on the bench. I'm talking about basically starters.
That is actually strengthening our team. If you're taking 2 players, bringing them into your team, and one of them is on the bench, you've strengthened your team.
Okay, you added depth.
I get
what you're saying.
If you are taking 2 and you're subtracting 2, then you're the same.
Yes, I know math. I understand what you're saying.
What do you? So I am basically telling you at this moment in time, things have changed, and it seems like Granit Xhaka might still be leaving, but the contract talks between Leverkusen and Arsenal have still not been completed. Arsenal now want 20 million, so there is a possibility where Xhaka could stay. But Partey, no one has actually come and knocked on the door and said we're going to give you this money for Partey. So at this moment in time, as it currently is comprised, it looks like Arsenal might have both of them still on the books going into next season potentially.
Okay, so in this case, if Partey stays, because this has been my point all summer, if Partey stays, I'm going to entertain this talk. I don't see Arsenal being that much of an this summer being that much of an improvement if Rice comes in and Partey leaves. Because my thing the whole time is that if they play together, not one for the other. That's all I'm saying. Only then I would say, yes, they definitely strengthen. Because Partey next to Rice is a good midfield.
What about if Xhaka
Rice instead of Partey? And we talked about this last time on the show, Hussein. It was me, you, and Mo, and I said the exact same thing. If you add him to that mix, that's an improvement. If they just directly replace each other, I don't think that's an improvement.
You know what? I think Declan Rice is coming in to take Thomas Partey's spot in the 6, but there could be a situation where either Xhaka or Partey stay, and we will now have a combination of midfield options where Lavia will no longer be in the picture, and we'll probably look at going to go get a Xavi Simon or somebody else into the team, and that could be another option for backup for Saka, and can also play in many other positions also. So that could be an option.
Right now, let me take you back for 1 second, though. When you mentioned Rice, do you think Rice can play as a lone 6? Because we had this topic last time, and Hussein, me, and Mo kind of disagreed on it. I think Hussein disagreed with me. He thinks that Rice can play as a lone 6, and we said that he can't because he hasn't played as a lone 6.
I think you guys are forgetting that Declan Rice used to be a center back. So the transition of being a center back in the middle of a front 3, of a back 3, is not that far off from being a lone 6. Let's be 100%. Honest. With his ability on the ball, I feel like Declan Rice is, of course, very press resistant. People always talk about him as if he's not press resistant. He's very press resistant. He's able to pick up the ball from the center halves. He's able to do a lot of things. His eye to notice danger is so good that he can not only is a good center half in the lone 6 position, but he can also play in that 8 position. But for me, I think they've identified him as that lone 6, and they're going to use him similar to how Rodri's being used.
Is he a better 6 than Partey?
Is he a better 6 than Partey? He's more reliable than Partey. So in that case, yes.
No. I don't want that answer. Is he a better 6 than Partey in terms of playing? I guess I get what you're saying, that Partey sometimes was unreliable and got injured and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. In general, who's a better 6? Because I thought last season that Partey was an amazing 6. He was top 3 all season next to Rodri and Casemiro up until maybe the last 10 games, or when Saliba got injured, whenever that was. But before that, this guy was performing like the top 6 in the league. Okay, so do you think Rice is better than him?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Going into last season, if you were to ask me, is Declan Rice better than Partey? I would have been sitting here yelling and screaming that Thomas Partey is way better than him. But right now, what I'm going to tell you is, it's not because we've signed him, but from what I've seen throughout the calendar year, I've noticed that Thomas Partey does have certain deficiencies in his game defensively, and it's overshadowed with the ability from with Saliba and Gvardiol. We know, sorry, not Gvardiol, Gabriel. Saliba and Gabriel's.
See what you did, Hamza? He got in his head.
Guys obsessed about players.
Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes' defensive ability kind of hid Thomas Partey's deficiencies. And we noticed that the moment Saliba gone down, that Thomas Partey couldn't cover as much space as needed. So I would tell you, yes, but in the same breath, we haven't seen Declan Rice yet play for us. So he could maybe have the similar issues. But I think Declan Rice is right now a better player than Thomas Partey, and I think going forward in the future, he's going to be a better player also.
So Hamza, I saw you shake your head a lot, so I think it's time for you
joke,
to talk.
like,
we have to let Hamza respond.
Is that wrong?
So in terms of let's put it straight. Let's put it straight in front of everyone. So you're saying you're going to win the league, yes or no?
I think we will win the league.
No, I asked you. You will win the league, yes or no? Just say yes or no.
You just said yes.
I think we will win the league. That's it. If that's not
yes, you will win. So fine. So failure to win the league is a failure.
Of course.
And failure to win the league, Arteta will be responsible for this. Like, he will be held responsible.
Surely.
If you don't win the league.
Of course, unless 50 people get injured.
No. Okay, fair enough. So to me, this is the problem with Arsenal fans. Yeah, they talk too early. They're very confident, and
You asked me a question.
That they can analyze
Wallahi, that was so shaitanic for you.
This-
You asked them a question, and then you said they do that too early. That was your
This is what they
question,
do.
Hamza.
Man, don't worry. We caught him.
Wait, Hamza. You asked me a
We
question.
clipped him. Listen, we clipped him.
He asked him a question and then he said, "That's the problem with Arsenal."
He said we caught him. You asked him, bro. What do you think?
Listen, we've already clipped him for this, yeah?
I love
The
Hamza.
problem is, yeah, they're very confident. They will say, oh, we'll win the league because everyone else is weak, or Man City have lost their captain. Listen, let me tell you, number one, we've got the greatest coach in the world, by far. So you can't take that out. The guy knows how to win the league. Your other guys never won the league. He's never won the league as a player, and he's never won the league as a manager. And the only time he won the league was he was sitting as a second-hand man to Pep Guardiola. He doesn't have experience. Your fan base grew up now. Most of them have never seen a league title. So you cannot talk about winning league titles. To win a league title, you have to have experience. Yeah? Secondly, Declan Rice has zero experience. My guy's got experience to win the Europa Conference League. But league, zero. He knows how to fight relegation, but league, zero.
I said that last show. I said this guy was fighting relegation. People forgot it. Remind them of that.
Yeah, zero. Winning the league, he doesn't know how to win. He doesn't know what league title. Yeah. So to me, you don't judge my team. Kovacic, I think Kovacic won the league with Real Madrid and Chelsea. Yeah, he's got experience. Our medical team is one of the best in the world. People said, "Oh, Gundogan, look what." When he came to, he was very injury prone. Look, Gundogan played. He hardly got injured. Kevin De Bruyne, we've managed to play with Kevin De Bruyne despite having hamstring tears. A Bayern Munich game, they've managed him well. Look at Haaland. Came injury prone, managed very, very well with the medical club. And according to City fans, if you hear what's going on at City, they have fantastic medical team. Yeah. So we will know how to manage Kovacic. We'll know. We've got winners in our team. We've got winners. We've got leaders. The problem is you guys don't have leaders. Saka is not a leader. Martinelli is not a leader. Zinchenko is not a leader. Jesus is not a leader. Gabriel, who's that guy? Gabriel something. What's his name? That left guy. Huh? Gabriel Magalhaes is not a leader. Okay, Saliba, fair enough. Aaron Ramsey panics on the ball. They've got the same team. They will come to the season psychologically damaged from last season. Damaged. There's something about it. If you start in the league title, I bottled last season after 93%. You're scared or something. You're not confident. You don't think, I'm going to win it. I got Declan Rice. Declan Rice said, I don't know how to win the league. I came from Europa Conference League. We're playing the league and the Champions League. To me, you will falter, I believe, because Pep knows you will falter. This season, you will not have it easier compared to last season. I'm telling you now. I've said it before. The only manager I'm scared is Jurgen Klopp. I'm scared of Liverpool, but people are sleeping on Liverpool. I've been saying since May. Sam, did I not say it? I'm scared of Liverpool. I'm scared of Liverpool. I'm scared of Klopp. People are not listening. I'm telling you.
Someone
listen,
clip that. Someone clip that.
No.
Rewind, clip that.
Okay, rewind
post
it.
on
Rewind it.
Twitter.
I'll never. Listen, I'm saying, look at the snake is there. You're not worried about the snake. The snake is coming. Be careful, Igal. Klopp is dangerous. The biggest mistake we made, Igal, if we had to unite, to allow Liverpool playing Europa League. Igal, they will walk Europa League. This is a team that's got heritage in European football. They're not scared. Their fans are not scared. Anfield's not scared of European nights. I've seen Liverpool. Sam, I told you, everyone. I've seen Liverpool when they were worst against Alaves. They won the Europa League, UEFA Cup. Liverpool are not scared. People are scared. Once they hear Liverpool in European Cup, everyone shakes their pants. They know it's a big club. They know. They're scared. Liverpool will not line up their first team, until the semis or quarters. So Liverpool, they've had a fantastic signing this summer. They've signed 35 million McAllister, and they've managed Szoboszlai, who's 20 years old, and who's a good attacker. I mocked him because I want Liverpool fans to start on him, because that's the only hope. Because I know Klopp will improve them.
So Hamza,
he signed 2 players for less than Declan Rice. Deep it. He signed 2 players who are very good for less than Declan Rice. You tell me, and they play Europa. You want me not to fear Liverpool? They know how to win the league. Klopp knows how to win the league. He's won the league in different countries. Yeah, I am more scared of Liverpool than I'm scared of you. I'm scared you're just chicken. You're just barking. But this dog can't bite because he doesn't have teeth. Yeah, I'll put my hand there. He doesn't have teeth. But Liverpool, to me, is the threat. So don't come out here judging us and say, oh, we lost our captain. Oh, we don't. We signed Kopish, we signed Gvardiol. We've just strengthened. And apparently we're going to get another midfielder. We might be getting another midfielder. So we might even strengthen furthermore. So before you're confident, we mocked you this season. Don't make yourself a laughing stock next season against someone. You got to take it back, I'll tell you now.
This is my exact feeling towards Hamza right now. Big up. You know what I love about this comment section? Everyone was like, oh my God, Hamza's so shameless. And then because most of my subscribers are Liverpool fans, they're like, let Hamza cook, man. This is what I want. Because this is the real topic, right? Next season's title race. And just before I give my 2 cents in, and I'll tell you why I agree with Hamza. Big up to AJ Arbens for the super chats. There's 650 people watching us. You need to be slapping that like button. Minimum 300 likes, 50%. Move like Erling Haaland in front of goal. Don't move like Gabriel Jesus. Make sure you're slapping the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single person right now, slap up that like button, subscribe to the channel. And next season's title race, here's my thing. I think Arsenal now have Champions League football, so they cannot basically play 1 game a week until April. This is where Hamza knows already the strength of Liverpool next season. We have 1 game a week until April. April, you think in the group stages, Klopp is going to play Mo Salah or Van Dijk or any of these guys? We're not going to play any of them. You're only going to see them in the knockout stages in April. And here's the thing. Hamza himself will tell you this. City started the season strong one time, Centurion, they started from the start, 100 miles an hour. Other seasons, they start a little bit slow. If somehow they start slow, there's only one other team in this entire league that has proven we can win 19 games in a row, 18 games in a row, 17 games in a row, and that's Liverpool Football Club. It could be a thing. Remember the 1920 season, where by the time Man City got their shit back together, they're like, shit, Liverpool is like 15 points ahead of us already. And I think Pep does give Klopp that respect. And here's the thing. I'm not saying it disrespects Arteta, but what Hamza is saying regarding experience is reality. Experience in winning the Premier League, it's a reality. Because Liverpool, after winning the Prem versus before winning the Prem, is 2 totally different animals. After we win the Premier League, you have that experience of lifting that trophy. From Arsenal's perspective, actually, 2 of the players who had the experience with City, which is Zinchenko and Jesus, they kind of fell off towards the end when it came to the title race. I think we're going to have a three-way title race. So I think Arsenal are in the title race 100%. I'm not denying Arsenal. But I'm saying when it comes to the title race next season, I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if Liverpool Football Club, only if we do the right business, we can win the league next season. I have no problem saying that.
You see, my issue with Liverpool is, one, who's going to be your starting defensive midfielder next season?
Lavia, it looks like.
You haven't
Some
signed
people
him.
say Thuram as well, by the way, with Trent. Remember the inverted thing.
Okay, if you sign Lavia, cool. If you sign Thuram, cool. But if you go into the season with Fabinho as your defensive midfielder, there's no hope for you guys. That's one. Honestly.
Says who?
You think Fabinho is just going to magically go back to the last couple of years?
No, but do you think Fabinho's as bad as we've seen this season because the midfield around him is crap too?
I think Fabinho himself has not looked like himself.
Completely agreed. But do you think that here's my thing with Fabinho? I'll never defend him. I think he had a horrible season this year. But with Fabinho, because he went from having to stop 2-3 counterattacks, now he has to stop 15 counterattacks. It's obvious he's not going to stop all 15 counterattacks. Okay. I think Fabinho there's still, and Fabinho will only have to play one game a week as well, Igal. That's the other thing.
And okay, I think fair people enough. Forgetting
McAllister. You're saying Fabinho playing however many games you want this season. In the case that Fabinho's not there and you don't sign a defensive midfielder, you're screwed, right?
But why are you giving in case? In case you don't sign Declan Rice, you're screwed.
Declan Rice is already signed.
No. Don't do that. But I can say already, Lavia's signed. Romano's spoken about it.
Bro, you haven't made a bid. You haven't agreed.
Who told you? They've already rejected our first bid.
Okay, so basically we're doing hypotheticals now.
No, they've rejected our first bid.
No, but I feel like this is a hypothetical. I'm going based off what's been already done.
You're the one that's doing hypothetical, not me.
How? You're saying
you said what if Fabinho gets injured? I could say, okay,
I never said what if Fabinho gets injured. I said
that.
I never said that. What I strictly meant was you have one midfielder, and in the case that Fabinho's not playing well, or anything happens to him.
Okay, not playing well, not injured. You're just assuming
when forget about injuries.
He's not available or whatever.
You expect Fabinho to play 38 games. It's not going to work. And really and truly, you bring in Lavia or something else. Fair enough. I give you credit there. If you bring those guys, you're age-proofing the squad. You're bringing in somebody that can cover that position. If you guys do bring in that next midfielder and you do bring in that center half who can cover or on the left or whatever the left side of center half that you're looking for, you make those two signings, you're definitely in the mix. But who's to say, one, those two signings are going to happen, and two, who's to say all your transfers are going to hit? Now, really and truly, you can say that with anybody, but in the same breath, Liverpool haven't made many signings that have been smooth transitions. When was the last time you made 3 or 4 signings in a transfer window, and they've all come into the team and made a smooth transition?
That's a very interesting question.
Proven, though. McAllister
no, let me answer this question. Alisson, Van Dijk, and Fabinho.
Okay, and look at the age profile.
We won the league and the Champions League.
And look at the age profile. Look at the age profile of those signings in comparison to the signings you'd be making this window with the Lavia potentially.
Why are we talking about Lavia? I get you're saying he's going to be Fabinho's replacement, but why are we not talking about what McAllister adds to this midfield?
What Szoboszlai adds to the midfield.
You know what?
I'm not even going to talk about Szoboszlai.
I didn't even, 1 second. Before people start saying I'm sitting here as the villain, I'm not. One thing I'm going to do is I've given you guys credit. I've sat here numerous times. I said, are Liverpool back? Don't make it seem like I'm just out here to be that guy. But the reality of the situation is I have Hamza here cussing me for 20 minutes. I didn't even get to respond to him. And then my man's coming here saying Liverpool are going to do this. And I'm just strictly giving you the counteraction, which is there's still questions over if Lavia or Thuram come in, if they're ready, and your own fans are questioning this, number one. Number two, how is your midfield going to work in the case who's going to start, what's going to happen, how's it going to all work together, and is there going to be a smooth transition? Where Arsenal, really and truly, you look at our team, if we, in the case we make the Declan Rice signing, the window that we're already having, we're not going to make too many changes.
But I can ask the same questions about your football.
We're not making too many changes to our starting 11 that was effective last season.
They can have a smooth transition from a false 9 to a midfielder.
What?
That's another thing. Can Havertz smooth transition from a false 9 to a midfielder?
Who's
Can
to say
Declan
Havertz?
Rice can Declan Rice smooth transition from West Ham, who play a polar opposite football to Arsenal? Can Timber smooth transition from the Dutch league to the Premier League?
First of all, you're assuming that two of those three signings would even be starters. We're not necessarily signing starters. We're signing players to add to the squad. They're not necessarily going to play every single week. Where you're signing players,
No, I'm using your logic against you. I don't believe in your logic.
1 second, Hussam.
It's your logic, not mine.
Only one of those players, in my opinion, are designated starters that are being signed to be starters. Declan Rice. Where you, let's be honest, you sign Szoboszlai, you sign McAllister, and you sign You're depending on at least two of them to be starters week in, week out, every week. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Szoboszlai and McAllister is 99%.
And you already still have to figure out your attack from last season, which was not really that.
No, our attack has never been a problem. Our attack is a problem.
You're telling me you didn't have issues last year.
Jota scores goals, Salah scores goals, Gakpo scores goals.
And I think fair enough. And the winger, who's the other winger? The deadly winger.
Luis Diaz.
You're saying Liverpool are Luis Diaz, prior to his injury, was the best winger on that side in the Premier League. Like, he was carrying Liverpool. And if he comes back to that form, don't worry about the attack. The attack is more dangerous than your attack. If they get the attack is dangerous. The only reason is Liverpool had bad midfield.
Based on what?
A lot of the attackers were compensating, had to drop back to help their midfield all the time. But they don't need to do that.
That's how football's done. Jack Grealish, Jack Grealish, in the biggest game of the season, had to come back and stop Mo Salah from creating that chance.
But
listen, you would have lost. That's how everyone plays.
They had Harvey Elliott, they had Curtis Jones, they had 18-year-old Bassett.
Once again, this is what you do all the time. Whenever you have a game, you start taking everything together and trying to throw it in.
Their midfield was poor. Bassett, they had Harvey Elliott. I was feeling sorry for them.
I can acknowledge their midfield is poor. I can acknowledge their midfield is poor. I can acknowledge their midfield is poor, but in the same breath, to say that if they make two more signings and they all work perfectly,
I don't know.
Then they're gonna be up there, and I don't think they're too far off. But to sit here and make it seem like everything was perfect at Liverpool last season besides one little detail is not right. There was drop-offs in levels from Salah. There was drop-offs in levels in Van Dijk. There was drop-offs in levels in Fabinho. There was drop-offs. The whole spine had a drop-offs in their levels. And it's not only down to the supporting cast that there was a drop-off in all of their levels. Who's to say that drop-offs in their levels wasn't only because of their midfield, but they actually are regressing in their career? Who's to say that's not a fact?
Let me tell you something. The midfield is the engine of football, engine of the football. It protects your defense. It helps your attack. Yes. That is the engine. They lost the engine there. They had Milner, Henderson, Fabinho's club. They had Bassett.
And their manager was stubborn. He didn't change it until late. Let's be honest.
But they had listen, I felt sorry for Klopp. He did well with that team. He was so bad. So now he's able to get McAllister, World Cup winner. Yeah, brilliant player. Yeah, he's gonna get Szoboszlai, 22. He's physically strong. He's strong, He's 6 foot. He's strong. He's attack. Thiago Alcantara when he's fit. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. Forget Declan Rice. Thiago Alcantara is one of the best. Declan Rice sits on the floor for Thiago Alcantara. He's one of the best.
Kopish sits on the floor too.
I agree.
In the same room as him.
Thiago Alcantara is special. And they will be playing once a week. One second.
Show respect for Mason Mount in this conversation.
Yeah, they'll be playing once a week. They would sign a midfielder. I have seen Klopp taking Shinji Kagawa from Japan, free transfer, made him to a top signing. I've seen him taking Henry Mkhitaryan. I've seen him taking Gano from Nuremberg, made him to an incredible signing after they lost Nuri Sahin. I saw how he built that Dortmund.
So Hamza,
guy can do
where's Liverpool finishing then?
You know what? You're sleeping on them. You're sleeping.
No. Stop. Where are they finishing?
Second or first.
Okay, so they're gonna finish above us.
I
love it.
Above you? So you think City can finish third, Igal?
I love it.
You think City can finish third, Igal?
No, he's saying Liverpool's gonna finish above us. I love it. He's writing us off. Hamza, I love it. Keep doing that. Keep writing.
I don't.
I'm scared of Klopp.
Hamza, let me just say one thing. Sorry, you know, Igal, what the problem is. This is my problem with your argument. Your problem is you're kind of taking all the positives for Arsenal, bringing the negatives for City and for Liverpool. You're bringing just our negatives, City's negatives, but with you, you're just presenting positive arguments. If we want to do negatives for Arsenal, we can also say this year they're going to play Champions League football. So Saka, Martinelli, all the guys who you said at the end of the season were fatigued are going to have to play 2 games a week for the whole season instead of them playing it, just for like 3-4 weeks, and then you come tell me they're fatigued. They're going to have to do it every single week. They're going to have to do it because you cannot rest Saka and Martinelli if you play against Bayern or against PSG or against Real. You can't even rest them against Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League.
Yeah, better squad depth this season.
No, hear me out. You can't trust them against anyone. And the second thing is as well, I'm saying Arsenal will be in the title race. I'm not saying they won't be in the title race. But when you have to present the honest case. For Liverpool Football Club, McAllister is a World Cup winner and he's Premier League proven. There were people putting him in the team of the season, and he was one of Brighton's best players. We got him for 35 million. You've got Szoboszlai, who's coming in now, who's other than Thiago, better than everyone else. He has all the attributes. He's Champions League experienced. He even came out in the interview. He said, every year in my career, I've won a trophy. This year, this will not change. So already Liverpool are showing fighting words, And if it's not speculation, it's what Fabrizio is saying. It's what Liverpool reporters are saying. Everyone's saying this. If the transfer window continues as to what's being reported by official sources, that Liverpool Football Club go sign Lavia, go sign Thuram and a centre-back, then we have completed the entire rebuild in one window. And let me show you how there's levels to this game. You're right. Salah's levels have dropped. All Trent's levels have dropped. But Salah, on a bad season, still had more GA than all the wingers in the league on a bad season. On a bad season, this guy dropped 19 goals, 14 assists on a bad season. Whilst your right winger on a good season didn't do those numbers. So I can look at it from the reverse. I can tell you, Trent, last 10 games, as soon as he decided, I want to play football now, I want to stop fucking around, he became the best right back in the league again, just like that. So you can look at it from the positive perspective for Liverpool too. Why can't I be positive? I can just say the opposite of what you said, and it would be a realistic argument.
Okay. First of all, right? There was a lot said with what you said and what Hamza said. First of all, I didn't even get to present the positives because I feel like whenever I'm speaking, immediately when I bring up any negatives, either club, I get attacked, and and immediately everyone's defensive and they want to say their case. So there is a lot of positives for Liverpool, and I've said it numerous times. I've even done a whole TikTok today where I was saying Liverpool making these signings, are they back? And I think you guys are close. You guys need 2 more signings, a defensive midfielder and a left-sided center half. You guys get those 2 players, you've filled out your squad, and you have a lot of squad depth going into next season. Right, that's one. Number 2, when it comes to transitioning and getting them in, now you were able to do that with Fabinho, Alisson, and Van Dijk. But what you have to understand is you signed Van Dijk in January. He was already a senior player. He was doing well. You already had him in the system. You made 2 more signings, which was Alisson. Alisson came in. He was one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and Fabinho came in and arguably one of the best midfielders in the league. Now, with the players you're going to be signing now with Szoboszlai and McAllister, I don't think there's going to be too many issues or too many questions about them. I think the questions are going to lie on if the midfielders in the DM position that you sign can handle it, or if you're going to depend on Fabinho a lot. And if you do call on Fabinho, how reliable he can be.
This brings me back to what I wanted to say, Igal, because
the defensive midfielder issue, it might be an issue, but it also depends on how solid your defense is, because then you might not need to rely on...
You know, Igal, I have a crazy prediction regarding Fabinho. You know what I think Fabinho might do? Let me tell you what I think he might do before I go to the super chats. I think Fabinho could have a Kyle Walker season. I know Hamza will know exactly what I'm about to say. Remember when City signed Cancelo and everyone's like, oh, Kyle Walker's going to the bench. And Kyle Walker that year had a year unbelievable. That year is probably his best year I've ever seen him play for Manchester City. He had an unbelievable year. And he just suddenly was like, nope, Cancelo, you're not going to take my place. I think if we sign Lavia, Fabinho might come out and go like, nope, Lavia, you're not about to take my place. I will teach you how to play a CDM, but you're not about to take my place. And just before I run through the super chats, guys, we've got 700 people watching us. We need to like the video. Everyone right now, this very second, slap the like button, subscribe. I think this has been a very healthy, good debate, to be honest with you. So make sure you're all liking the video. Make sure you're all subscribing to this football if you're yet to do so. The road to 15K continues. We're only about 40 subscribers away. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're liking the video. 700 people here, minimum 350 likes. We need Erling Haaland energy in front of goal, 50% at least.
I had one more thing that we never mentioned.
Okay. Can we do it after the super chats, please? Thank you. Queen Nadra saying signing Manu Kone, who is injury prone, is going to be a downgrade for us. I agree with you, Queen Nadra. That's why I think we moved on from Manu Kone because of the injury that he had. An MCL and an ACL is a dangerous thing to go sign a player like that. I appreciate you, Nadra. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to Ozan Kabak, who says, love that all 4 on the panel are wearing team kits. This was Igal's idea. Big up Igal. He told us all to go put our kits on, and that was a great idea. Big up Igal, man. Big up to Baku, says Arsenal challenge City and think they're legit. I said it before. Arsenal signings are meaty. 0 game changers. Buck, I think you're being a bit disingenuous there. I don't think Havertz is a game changer. I think Rice is a game changer. And I think based on holding, Timber will be a game changer for them.
Look, if United signed Declan Rice, you'd be crying for him. You'd love it.
Facts. Big up Murad, who says, as a Gunnar, Pool are going to cook next season. Big up to you, Murad, Habibi. Thank you for the super chat, Akhi. I appreciate you. Big up to Joe, who says, Lavia and Thuram will change the team, and Arsenal have major problems in Arteta. He has issue under pressure. He crumbles. Joe is agreeing with Hamza's take on Arteta here. He's saying that Premier League experience is going to come in handy for Klopp. Big up to you, Joe. Big up to all the people watching from Australia as well. Big up to AJ, who says, Arsenal have the biggest negative name, Havertz. Today, when I found out that Havertz is the highest earner at Arsenal, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it.
That's not true. That, first of all, that is actually
300 grand a week.
That's bullshit, Hussam.
How much is he earning?
He's only earning like 250. What they've done is they've taken his bonuses and added it on and said, "Oh, he's making 300."
Oh,
that's the same argument everyone tries to make.
He's not going to reach those bonuses. He's not going to reach those bonuses unless we actually achieve things. So this whole thing of 300 something is bullshit.
So they did. Okay, so they did.
They're gaslighting. They're gaslighting.
Okay, that Kai Havertz.
Declan Rice is going to be our highest earner, making around 300.
That Kai Havertz risk is gonna make or break Arteta. True Gunnar says, how can you say Gvardiol is better than Saliba? We haven't even seen him play in the Premier League, and Saliba only cost 27 million. Hamza equal deluded. Brandon, you'd be happy to see that 300 people voted on the poll. Saliba won the poll, and me, Igal, and Staffy all said Saliba's better. So we're gonna have to take that Hamza one with a pinch of salt. Big up to you, Brandon, man. Joe says, another tie no one views are considered. You are always right, Igal. This guy, Joe, man. Big up to you, Joe. Listen, Igal is a bit hard-headed when it comes to Arsenal. But that's why I try to calm him down. I tell him, listen, look at the positives of Liverpool. We can do both worlds. We can look at the positives of City. Kovacic is a great replacement, I think. And Gvardiol is an upgrade on Laporte.
No, I'm just merely saying, can we all agree Kovacic is actually a downgrade to Gundogan?
Of course, because Gundogan's been one of the best midfielders probably in this last 2 years.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, no, but if you're dating a 10 and then you're dating a 9, that is a downgrade, but that's still a very good.
Yeah, that's still a 9.
Good player.
It's still a 9. You know what I mean?
Big up my.
Gundogan's a 10. Kovacic is not a 9. The guy doesn't do anything close to.
Well, Gundogan's not even a 10, but I'm just like using that analogy that you could downgrade, but if the downgrade is not massive, it doesn't make that much of an effect.
Basically, Staffy's point is they're not going to sign Tyrone Mings, yani. They're signing good players.
I get that, but my main point was Man City. Apparently, they're the best run club in the world. I agree there. They know what they're doing. They're going to probably go sign another midfielder out of nowhere. But this whole thing that they've actually gotten worse.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I've seen Company leave that team, and they still stay good. I've seen David Silva leave that team, and they're good. I've seen Aguero decline and then leave that team, and they're good. Fernandinho, yes.
They won the league without a striker. They played
KD. A lot of players have left. When I saw the list of players that leave every year, a player leaves, a legend of their current era, and they still stay up top.
The thing is,
no, I agree with you.
I think that the biggest issue is Arteta will be under huge pressure because the last 3 years he spent nearly 650 million. That's a lot of money to spend.
For context,
he spent.
We rebuilt the whole squad properly.
Albert is Ghanaian. He's taking the party thing personally. He's like, "Why are you guys?"
He spent nearly 700 million. And if he doesn't deliver the league, he'll be held responsible as a failure. Like you failed. You can't spend that kind of money.
Hamza,
Especially
Hamza.
1 second, let me finish. Especially that 100 million on one player. And on top of that, the one thing that's gonna make them stress is the first time they're playing in the Champions League for a long time. And in the Champions League, they can't handle the pressure. We've seen last year against Europa League when Saliba and all these Saka are playing Europa League against Sporting Lisbon, who finished fourth. They buckled in Europa League.
They
So
got
this
injured.
club,
He got injured.
they will come to the Champions League and teams don't respect them in the Champions League. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you'll come there nervous because you've not played there before. There's pressure on you. I've won it. Now I've won it. There's no pressure on me. Because Sam's won it. He doesn't need the pressure. Staff won it. Staff's not going to get pressure. Staff's not scared of Champions League. His team has won it. But
6
your team
times.
is your only team.
Hamza,
Everyone's looking. Listen, even me, I'm going to be watching Arsenal in the Champions League. I'm putting
But
that
bro,
as a
what's your
channel.
point?
I'm
What's your
watching.
point?
No. So you're in that. You're under
The
significant
inexperience.
pressure.
No, but
to-
because
no, one
he
second,
takes so many jabs.
One second.
By the
You're playing-
time he tries to
listen,
go for the haymaker, no
one
one
second.
knows what he's
And then he
talking about.
says
No,
1
1
second after
second.
talking for
Nobody
5
knows what he's
minutes.
talking
Let me
about.
finish. He gets stressed. He gets stressed when I'm about to finish.
Bro,
Basically-
I'm gonna
No,
hop in next
one
because
second.
you guys are not letting me talk here. You're just fighting.
Listen, stuff. So they're playing
Let them
twice
go.
a
Let
week.
them go.
They're playing twice a week. He's stressed on Saturday. He's extra stressed on Wednesday because everyone's watching him. Everyone's waiting for him to capitulate. And if he capitulates, we're coming for him. We say, you're bottlers. You've never won the Champions League. You built the stadium. You spent 700. We will start the same thing that was done on me. We're going to come for you. So you have to play your fast team in the Premier League and the Champions League. And you have to make sure you have to make sure, because I believe you might even end up third and end up in the Europa League. Oh my God. And then it becomes a failure season in mid-season. Already we're laughing at you. Like, you have to at least hit the quarterfinals. So, you're under huge pressure
It's so
this
annoying.
season to deliver. So, I'm going to tell you today, be very careful what you wish for. The next season's coming, just drink some tea and reflect on what I said before the season starts.
Hamza, I want to.
Hamza, how does he
You
celebrate?
guys been fighting, man, and I just need to get my word here because no one knows my stance.
One second. Let me just say one thing.
I give you guys
Bro,
more than 1 second.
We don't have expectations in the Champions League. We don't. It's been our first time in the competition in a long time.
That doesn't mean you don't have expectations.
Nobody
You
here-
have goals.
Nobody here.
You could say we're not going to win it.
Nobody expects us to win it, basically. Of course.
Yeah, but you have to get out of the group stage, so you have to take the group stage
Of
seriously.
course, we have to get out of the group. Of course, we have to at least get to a round of 16. But if we don't win
Okay,
it,
so there you go.
nobody's
That's
gonna sit here-
expectations.
nobody's going to sit here and laugh at us. Hamza, what are you talking about?
Okay. Your expectations.
Wait,
just
if
said
you
could
drop
be
from the
true.
group stages, no one's gonna laugh.
No,
Of course they're gonna laugh.
obviously.
No, he's saying if they don't
obviously,
win. He said-
Hussein. But if we get into round of 16 and we lose at some point in the round of 16 to the final, nobody's gonna be sitting
Yeah,
there
it
saying,
only
"Ha, ha,
depends
ha."
who you lose to. That's what it
I
depends.
was about to say that what you're saying is only valid is if you get far and then you run into Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Bayern Munich, Man City.
City.
That's only when people are going to start giving you excuses.
Yes.
But
Don't
if you
lose
don't
to
make it
Leipzig.
to no one's going to give you
But you
respect
know what?
if you get knocked out by Leipzig
But
and you're like,
this
oh
is
well,
my
we made it
issue.
out of the state.
This is
group
my
stages.
issue. This is my issue. I could sit here for 15 minutes and tell you guys about every single detail, talk about leadership, talk about this, talk about that. But the reality is, I don't know what Hamza's talking about. My man sits there for 20 minutes. I had to write down stuff. He said something about danger.
He brought out the pen.
He said something about danger. Bro, do you realize what you're talking about? Another point. He said Declan Rice, 100 million pounds. Bro, the pressure's on the manager. Everybody knows this. Why do you need to bring it up 100 times? Everybody knows pressure's on Arsenal to deliver. Man City have already delivered. Liverpool have already delivered. Really and truly, Ten Hag has just recently come. There's no pressure on him yet to deliver a major trophy. Yes, last year we had a title challenge. This year we need to try to push on and win the league. If we don't win the league, it's a failure. And everybody sitting here can acknowledge if Arsenal don't go push on and do better, it is a failure. Now let's take that to one side. You said there's no leaders in this team. So you're telling me Granit Xhaka is not a leader. You're telling me Declan Rice is not a leader. You're telling me Gabriel Magalhaes is not a leader. You're telling me there's no leaders in the squad. It's funny you name
You do have
Xhaka.
Saliba.
1 second. It's funny that you name Saka and Thing. Guess what? You don't need your main goal scorers and your people who deliver every day. Haaland's not a leader. Like, let's be real. Haaland's not a leader. What he does is he comes to work, scores goals, and goes home. He doesn't need to sit there and tell everyone, "Rah, let's get ready." No, you don't need that. At the end of the day, you need a handful of people who are the leaders. You need a handful of people who are your goal scorers. You need a handful of people who get the job done, come to work and leave like Ben White. You don't need everyone to be a leader. And then let me take it to the final thing: experience. Everyone keeps talking about experience. Arsenal might not have the experience of winning major honors, but what we do have, we have the experience of heartache. We have the experience of getting there and not being able to fill it. And this experience is sometimes the things you need to get yourself over the line. The experience of getting close can actually get you over the line. It's that experience is sometimes is needed to fulfill the trophies and to fill those challenges that you've needed. That's why they always say the team that's been there, that's been so close, that never got there, can either crumble or be the team that gets over the line. So I'm hopeful that they're the team that gets over the line. It could be possible that we also crumble, but I'm just telling you the honest truth. There is two scenarios for experience. It's not always the person who's won the trophies. And if you want to name people who've won the trophies, we have Champions League winners in this team. We might not have guys who've won the Premier League in this team, but we have guys who've won other trophies in their respective leagues previously. So when you keep talking, Hamza, sometimes take a moment. One second. Sometimes take a moment and realize half the things you're saying are not factually correct.
Hold on, Hamza. Let me
go. Before you go, I'll just make a quick announcement. Karan has just DM'd me, the other Arsenal fan who also appears on the channel. He's like, give me the link now. I want to speak to Hamza. I want to give me the link now. I want to speak.
Well, I bring him.
So bring him.
Just bring them on. Yeah, bring
him on to fight Hamza after I leave. But let me just get in my 5 cents, bro. Because like, wallahi, I don't think I've ever sat on a show and got less words than today. Because these guys have just been fighting all day.
You did on Al Ahwa last time, and I wanted to.
Wallahi, I probably spoke more on Al Ahwa than today. No, I'm just sitting here watching this fight.
Random.
No, listen, Hamza usually does, but I actually, for once, agree with Hamza on not everything, but I agree with a lot of his points. Because what you just said, Igao, basically was the reverse of what Hamza said. He said that your failure from last season is going to destroy you going into next season, because these players are looking at themselves and they're like, we've did all that last season and we still couldn't win it. He's saying they're mentally destroyed. You think they are mentally motivated. Now, that comes down to your preference. We don't know what's actually going down in their minds.
We've seen the evidence.
What is the evidence? The evidence, I'll tell you what's the evidence. The only evidence that we know, and I'm going to just recap this so quick and even bring Liverpool in it. Hamza and Hassan made a very good point. They're the only two that are very experienced going into the season with these scenarios, okay? City has won leagues before. They know how to retain leagues. They've lost big players before. They know how to make them up, okay? So this guy's sitting here. He's like, okay, I've seen this movie. Hamza's sitting there. He's like, I've seen this movie so many times before. So Hamza's calm. Hassan is sitting on this side, and he's looking at what's going on with this team. Okay, so his team is adding essential players that push him into a title charge. When has Hassan seen that before? He's seen it with Alisson. He's seen it with Fabinho. He's seen it with, who was the third player? I remember you made 3 big signings. Van Dijk. There you go. And they came in and they hit the ground running right away. You know who never got his players hitting the ground running right away? It's 2 managers, actually. Pep and Arteta. Arteta's made out of Pep cloth, okay? So when I'm sitting here and I'm trying to judge, okay, who's going to have his players bang in right away and not really need that much time to adapt, I can only look at Hosam. Because not for anything, the way that they play football is not as complicated as City. It's not as complicated as Arsenal. There's a reason why Arteta couldn't get results out of this team until the 4th year. They finished eighth, and then 4th. 3 times in a row. Sorry, not 4th. You guys finished 5th. So 3 years in a row, he couldn't get him in the top 4. It took him that long to learn Arteta ball, which is very similar to Pep ball, which is why also Pep, who is the best manager in the world, who signs better players than anyone else, arguably, it still takes them 1 year to learn their system. Now, why am I sitting here and expecting Declan Rice to come in, and as soon as he goes into that team, right away he's going to hit the ground running? And that doesn't dismiss how good or bad of a player he is. I've seen Jack Grealish, who is a better player, go into that Man City team, and it took him over a year to play good. I've seen even Rodri, so many players. I can't sit here and expect everyone that Arteta signed is going to hit the ground running right away. I could say that for Hassan, that's just like based on facts, because I've seen it in the past. I just haven't seen it with Arteta yet, which is why last season. But I'll tell you something. No. I'm happy you said that. which is why last season he signed 2 players that are familiar with the system already. These guys were not aliens to the system. They played under Pep. So he brought him and Zinchenko because he was like, you know what? These guys know what I want to do. They're going to make my job easier for now. And that's why he did it. But Declan Rice hasn't done that. Declan Rice is going to have to play a much complex style of football than he's used to in West Ham, because West Ham, they don't play pretty football like that. He doesn't play with so many instructions.
This is the perfect time, Staffy, because now Karan's going to have to fight 2 people. I've never seen him have so much fire in his eyes. He DM'd me. He's like, get me on. I need to cook this Hamza guy. Big up Zlatan. This is the relevant super chat I'm going to run. He says, Hamza should change his name to Sun Tzu. That was the art of war. And then he says, Hamza is running psychological warfare on Igal. Big up to you, Zlatan, man. Thank you for the super chats. AJ saying, Igal Kovacic starts for your club. I think it's bad. I think he starts for Liverpool. I don't think he starts for Arsenal necessarily. If they get Rice, then I don't think he starts for Arsenal. I'm just going to be completely honest. Yeah, big up to you, AJ. Zlatan finally says, I'm Chelsea playing a Robin Hood role, robbing from Arsenal and United, Havertz the giraffe for 65 million and Mount the camel for 60 million. It's crazy. It's crazy how for Havertz and Mount they got 125 million. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Big up to Red Chili as well, who sent in the super chat. Make sure you listen to him. He sent money to tell you to like the video. 700 people are watching us. Minimum, I want 350, 400 likes. Everyone right now, please do like the video. Please do subscribe. Get your popcorn ready, because an Arsenal fan has personally requested to get himself on the channel. Karan has joined us. Talk to me, Karan. What are you saying?
Before he starts talking, I gotta go, bro. Thanks for having me, guys.
See you, Steph.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
See you. We're definitely gonna enjoy it. Karan, we can't hear you. You're on mute. No problem. Take your time. Hamza, you're gonna get cooked. I'll be so honest with you. Good luck, man. Hey, I ain't involved in all of this. I will be so honest with you.
Can you hear me now?
Before you come down, about to start mentioning
hello, people. Hello.
Chat. Make sure you're spamming the popcorn emoji, chat. Popcorn emoji.
It's good to see you. It's good to see everyone.
How's it going?
You know, I find I was getting ready for bed, and I thought, you know what, Hussam is on. I'll see what he's talking about. I'll see what's going on, and then I see a super chat. Oh, Gvardiol is better than Saliba. He's better than Saliba, right? He's that guy. I then hear Declan Rice is not suited for Arsenal football. I then hear that there's no experience in the team. There's no experience in the team. There's no leadership in the team. Very decent. I just remember in December, a certain Hamza going, people, we must go, everyone together, and go up against Arsenal Football Club, because these guys are 5 points ahead. It's a joke. It's a joke. For how many times did that video get quoted? How many times? Because you got scared. And the same thing happened when we went 8 points ahead. And then things happened. We messed up. It happens. But don't act like we weren't scared, because this team is coming, and it's going to be scary next year. It's not a game. It's not a game anymore. We're getting a £100 million player that is built for this squad. And the guy before was saying, and I saw him last time I was here. Lovely guy. He said he's not going to be able to come in and do instantly what Arteta wants. Declan Rice has been literally doing exactly what we need for him to do. He's a great ball carrier. He breaks lines with his carrying. He's someone that covers big spaces. He's someone that can make tackles going in at any point. He's good in the final third as well. He's a good creator as well, which is very underrated. He hits switches. He's someone that is worth 100 million. And then I'm hearing from Hamza, there's no leadership. There's no this. We have how many international captains in our squad? Zinchenko, we've got Xhaka, who's going to be leaving. Yeah, the squad is young, but there's experience in the squad. You've got people coming in, a European captain winner in Declan Rice coming in. These are not people that don't know what they're doing. So congrats this year. You were better than us this season. Congratulations. And it will be a failure if we don't win this season. But you can tell them, Hussam, every season I have got this right. From 2021, every season I have got this right. I said in 2021 to 2022, we'd challenge for top 4, maybe we'd miss out. And then this last season, I said we challenge for the title, maybe miss out. And this season now coming up, we're going to win the title. And it's that simple because of what we've done over the past couple of years.
Listen,
Go on, you can be quiet.
let me rebuttal this. Like, listen, Arsenal Football Club, yeah, used to win league titles, but to us, like a lot of us have seen capitulation. You can't handle pressure. The word pressure gets into your head. Your fan base, it can't get into your team. Your managers have come and gone because they can't handle pressure. The club capitulates. We've seen it. Whether you have the Henrys in the Champions League finals, or all the way down, like all the way.
You remember that because you supported us, right? You remember that.
I
That comes up.
but we remember.
You remember that. That's fine. Good
I've
times.
I've seen Arsenal capitulate with 2 games to go to the league title. Capitulate.
Right? Yeah, I've seen it too.
I think. Listen, you're a good team, yes, but as you know, when I saw your players, I thought you cannot be like against Southampton, and I thought when you drew 3-3, and I saw your players on the floor, literally, stuck on the floor, Ramsdale, and I'm thinking, yo. You cannot be doing this. You cannot be sitting on the floor when the title race in the middle of April. You've been leading the race for that long. We had statistic in December saying there's never been a team that has had over 50 points, never lost it. You broke every record to losing a title. You went in April.
We were 50 points. We were 50 points in 19 games, and we're not going to be. We're not a good team. We're not going to be there in the end of the day.
But the reason why you can't do it, because you can't handle pressure. You went to Liverpool's team in Anfield, and Liverpool's worst team at the worst time to play Liverpool, where I've seen Liverpool capitulate against Bournemouth. You went there 2-0.
You went and drew at Anfield. What are you talking about?
No, 1 second. That was the worst time to face Liverpool.
Yeah.
The worst time to face Liverpool. And you capitulate. You go to West Ham. You capitulate because Saka misses a penalty to make you go 3-1. You go to Southampton at home.
Okay.
You start capitulating before even the whistle. 15 seconds, you already won.
You know he's going to repeat himself and name every single.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, Hamza talks about pressure, right? No, but you talk about pressure. How many pressure games did we win this season? We went to Spurs away and won. We went to Liverpool. We didn't capitulate. We get smashed. We actually came out and tried to win that game. Hamza, you were there that game. You remember that game. It wasn't like we competed that game. You came back in the second half. But for a lot of that game, with Rob holding at the back, we were competing at Anfield. That is the Anfield.
You're lucky.
It's not a place.
I don't believe that. Liverpool had.
Ask him. Did we compete at Anfield? Ask him. No. Screw you. Did we compete at Anfield? He is the guy, the Liverpool guy. Did we compete at Anfield? Yes or no?
Sam, did you not have chances to finish these guys up?
I don't think he competed second half. First half.
You battered them.
It was a back and forth game. We drew 2-2.
First half you were the team. Second half we took over.
So isn't that a competitive
I admit that you took over, but even up until the final kick of the game,
City lost at Anfield though. They didn't even get a draw. Yeah. City lost at Anfield.
The thing is, we broke so many narratives. We went to the first day and won at Palace. We haven't won at Palace in years. We went to Anfield. We beat
Liverpool at home.
We beat Liverpool at home. We did the double over Spurs. It's not like we didn't.
Over Chelsea.
We did the double over Chelsea. Okay, like we turned up in big games.
Chelsea this season, everyone does a double over Chelsea. Everyone does.
You're missing the point. You ask about pressure. You asked about pressure. These are big games. You asked about pressure, and then you go, but the last couple of games. Yes, we messed up the last couple of games. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine.
You know, 1 second. So when you lost the FA Cup, you used the excuse, no, we are concentrating in the league. When you got dunked by Sporting Lisbon,
I hate it. You can't just say the word excuse. No. The FA Cup is a failure. We messed up in the FA Cup. Okay, let's not use the word failure. Let's not use the word excuse. It's a failure. The Europa League failure. Let's not just make excuses.
So you're playing once a week. You're playing once a week, but this time
we weren't playing once a week.
You're playing Champions League. You're playing once a week.
We weren't playing once a week. When it came to April and May, go back to the fixtures. We played 5 games in Aprol. What are you talking about?
We played 10 games in April. 10 games. We had 10 games in May. We were playing.
And you did very well.
And
no one said you didn't do very well. But the fact is that when it comes to the end of the season, you're right. I'll give you that. You're right. We've not done well in April. 100%
You came to our ground. We smashed you.
Yes, you
we
did.
We
Yes,
saw
you
your
did.
players. Listen, I saw some in the tunnel. You could see their players scared. They were scared before the game kicked off.
You see, this is why this guy is ridiculous, Sam. He doesn't talk about football. He talks about narratives around football. They were scared. They were this and that. They were this and that. Why does that matter?
You cannot
Who cares? Literally, Hamza, nothing you're saying matters.
Okay,
nothing you're saying matters.
But I'm saying, what I'll say, you don't have experience to win the league. You never won the league with the same players. You're talking about Zinchenko. This Zinchenko guy, man, don't even talk about Zinchenko on my team. This guy made me lose the Champions League final. I'll never forget it. Yeah, he cries on the pitch. I don't care about that guy. Listen,
you see,
this guy is
irrelevant points. You asked for leadership and experience. I'm giving you leadership experience.
Leadership, Declan Rice, Saliba leaders. I agree. But the rest of your boys are not leaders. Are you joking?
Gabriel?
No, Gabriel Magal is not a leader. To you, he's a leader, but
for Sam, this guy is. I don't know what
is Gabriel Magal a leader?
Yes.
Are we serious about it?
Yes.
I can't lie. I don't look at Gabriel as a leader. That's not a bad thing.
But that's fine. I don't mind if it's a bad thing.
I think Rice is a leader, definitely.
But it's not.
I think Saliba's a leader.
Saliba leaders. We agree.
I think Jesus could be looked at as a leader.
Jesus is not a leader. Look, guys like Martinelli who turned up in the Martinelli is a leader, 100%. Turned up in the run-in. Did you see what he did in the run-in?
Saka, Ramsdale, maybe.
Ramsdale, Saka. Saka's a leader in his actions, not by like shouty. He's he
leads by action. He's like
the same with Martinelli. I would say
Ramsdale has leadership qualities.
Ramsdale's leadership qualities. You look at obviously Xhaka, but Xhaka might be leaving. Rice is coming in. You look at these guys. You look at Ødegaard, who actually is someone that can rally the people together. These guys are leaders. And if you look at my international captains, Ødegaard's international captain as well. So if you look at these guys, and yes, a point that Igal made is so good is that these guys have come up short 2 seasons in a row now. They've come up last season. They came up and they roared back. The question is, can they roar back this season? And the thing is, we're going from a 30 and 31-year-old Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey partnership to Declan Rice's 24, and then who knows who's going to stay there. If Xhaka will stay, if someone else will come in, we don't know what's going on there. Will Havertz play in midfield? We don't know. But the question is, will this team get better? This team will get better. And the fact is, if you look at this team for like 90% of the season, when did things start going wrong? When Saliba went down, we had to play Rob Holding, and guess what? We brought in Timber now. And that's another right centre back. That's another problem fixed. So you were looking at solutions here. We're looking at things getting better. We're a team on the rise. You're a team at the top. We have to chase you, no problem. But don't act like we're not coming up. We're not on the come up. We're getting better. We're not staying stable. We're going up. We're not going We're not going across. We're not staying at the same level. We're going up. And we went for the 19 games of the season. We went 50 points. That's got to be something. That's got to be something. I'm sorry, but you're completely misrepresenting our season this year. Yes, we failed at the last. Yes, we did. We failed on every count. I mean, you just say things. I mean, Hamza, if you don't know Premier League history, don't talk about Premier League history. What about United?
Premier League history.
You're just saying things. You're just saying things. Premier League history. If you're a City fan, you know that United losing that title to you, that first one, it's a much bigger failure. It is Hamza. Don't even try.
He also
Objectively,
knows
it is
Newcastle messing up. He also knows all these other things. But you know what he does? He's at this moment in time, Hamza's just trying to trigger us. Hamza, I have a simple question for you, Hamza. Where do you think Arsenal will finish next season? You think we're going to finish third, right?
I think you'll finish third. Yeah, I think.
Okay, so based on your expectations, you cannot be smacking us.
I expect you. I said it before. I said, when you spend 700
you see, this is his expectations of Arsenal.
But this is the thing, we're going to hear another 15-minute monologue about nothing.
I'll say, you spend 700 million, you spend 100 million on this, I expect you to win the league. But I know already, we've seen Arsenal. My prediction, you'll fail this season. You'll fail. And a lot of you guys, when you say, Liverpool, no. Listen, Liverpool will chase me. I believe Liverpool are my main threat. I'm looking at Liverpool's. I don't look at your signing.
I'll say this. Liverpool have improved a lot this summer. That's fine. But the thing is, it's not you they're chasing. It's City. And you are just going to say, you're going to say these things and they're going to, I'm scared of this. I'm scared. It's fine, Hamza. We get it. You like to have a bit of a troll, but the fact is that this team is getting better and better. This isn't a team that's is not staying on the same level. And the same goes with Liverpool. Liverpool have improved. If you get Lavia in, you remember what I was saying when I was on the show.
You trolled me, but we're actually signing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now.
If you sign him, no, seriously, if you sign him, and the thing is, I don't mind, because the thing is, if you sign him, it's a great signing. Gives Fabinho. That's what I said in the comments. Fabinho some rest. You can bring him in, make him learn the ropes. You were making a good point about Kyle Walker as well. No worries with that. That's something that actually might really help your midfield. The question is, and this is the same thing I mention all the time, is I think that people are severely underestimating what Declan Rice will do to our midfield. Really severely underestimating. Everyone's seeing the price tag going, oh, there's so much pressure on Arteta. There's so much pressure on Declan Rice. Hamza, how long have I been on this guy? This guy has been I've been going on a Declan Rice to Arsenal since 2021, for God's sake. This has been my thing. And people really do not understand how good this guy is. This guy is going to be electric in our midfield. So, and he's so durable as well. Another thing we've suffered from is defensive midfielders going down in key moments. Thomas Partey going down in the last season. He had a niggle in the international break, and his performance wasn't the same when he came back. And it's these things that keep happening and keep happening.
Curran, quick question. They had me ask. They asked me this question earlier in the show, and I said Declan Rice. Partey right now or Declan Rice right now? Declan Rice is a better player.
Declan Rice because the thing is, Declan Rice will turn up 38 games out of the season and give you a 7 out of 10 every single game.
I said Rice too. But
the thing is, why I was so interested and I was so I wanted to come on was to say, look, I'm not scared of Man City. People keep saying that we're meant to be. Yeah, you can have shit. Yeah, I'm not scared.
That's crazy, Carl.
I'm not, because the thing is, right? If we lose this league,
that's crazy.
If we lose this league, then it's fine. Same thing happened this season.
It's not fine.
But Hamza, the same thing will happen this season. You'll go to the same guys. We can't let them win this league. I put my league in the case. I never talk about it again. We go back on next day. Fine. No one cares if you win this league. No one. People, you want a treble. People went back to their day jobs like nothing happened. No one cares. Okay, so if we win, that changes everything. And I really, really hope for your sake, Hamza, that your manager can back up your mouth. Because at this moment in time, I really don't think that's the case. I really don't.
And one thing everyone forgets is they just won the goddamn treble.
Yeah,
they've completed everything. Who's to say they're gonna have that same level of hunger? This whole thing about
it's not about hunger. It's not about hunger. It's not about hunger.
Just being able to go back for it again.
This is the thing. It's not about hunger. If it was about hunger, then they wouldn't have won this year. This team was on the edge of the seats the entire year. They had the hunger in their mind in the crucial moments. Give them their credit. And let's be clear. This is an all-time team.
But what's the chance of them doing it again?
But the thing is, I don't know, and no one can tell the future. But the difference is this season we're going and plugging more holes in this team, and we're going to go up another level.
You know what the hunger came from last year? Last year the hunger came from Haaland being injected into that team, gave them another level of energy, and Haaland will always give them that energy.
No. The point is, I think Cancelo leaving really gave him that fire. Because that whole thing with Cancelo really, Pep was just like, I don't recognize my team. Yeah. It caused the disruption, and it got the fire back in their bellies, and they went on that second half run. And let's be clear, it's not that I'm not saying that City aren't the favourites and they should be winning this title. They should be winning this title. But to say that I'm scared, why would I be scared? What's the point?
Nobody's scared. You know what it is? Hamza, I'll play your game. Buzzwords 24/7. Manchester City have reached their pinnacle. They've reached their peak at this moment in time, winning the treble, doing what they've done. I don't think there's any higher. Maybe they try to find something better than that, but there is no higher. You've reached your pinnacle,
and I don't think you'll ever reach that pinnacle. I don't think you'll ever reach that pinnacle,
and that's fine. We're not asking for your approval here.
You'll never reach that level,
and that's fine. That's your opinion.
I'm just saying that. But it still cannot acknowledge. You still cannot acknowledge that you've reached such highs that sometimes getting yourself 1 second. Sometimes when you've had silk pajamas and you've gotten all the money,
It's
and you've
not
gotten
even that,
everything,
Igal. It's the
not that
fact.
easy.
I don't care about that. I just, the only reason I came on was the disrespect for Arsenal. Wasn't about
Oh,
them.
No,
the
it's not
disrespect for
the
Arsenal will
disrespect.
continue, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's
guys,
the only reason I
time
came
out.
on.
Listen, Karan and Igal, you guys have spoken. Just let him respond. We're going to give him
Well, I
give him
understand.
60
The-
seconds.
Yeah,
And then after
go.
that, I'll just read the super chats and we'll wrap up. Go on.
the difference between the difference why we won is not only that it's Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola is the greatest manager. He's won at all levels. Pep Guardiola is there. The reason it's not about hunger. There's a winner there. He's won it at all levels. He made the Centurion, the invincible UCL winners. What you do, the treble winners. It's Pep Guardiola. Then you got a guy who could not motivate. Pep Guardiola motivated my players, but your Arteta did not motivate his players. There's a reason. Your manager is inexperienced, never won the league. Well, this guy has won all the league titles, competed at top level at wherever he's gone to.
Do you even believe that?
And no, 1 second. He's done that, and he's there. When Pep Guardiola's here and Klopp are here, Arteta, do you think you're gonna get the league so easy? The way you're talking, I say, "Oh, we've reached the pinnacle." Listen, respect the two best managers in this league. To me, when I was being chased by Liverpool, all the way to 99 points, it was more stressful. It was more stressful. I don't think Arteta.
That's fine.
stress me
It's
as
not
much
even
as
about
how much he
You know, but the
stressed.
thing is,
This
he's
why
lying.
I'll
He's
big up
lying.
Liverpool to be my main threat.
That's
and
fine.
whatever you guys say to me about Declan Rice won a Europa Conference League. Take it back when he said he won a European Cup. European Cup, get out of here. European Cup is the Champions League.
He won a European. honestly, Hamza, again.
I will never accept
seriously,
that
if you're willing to lie on camera, that's
Xavi on
fine.
Iniesta.
But that's fair. Look, if you're gonna sit here and say Arteta doesn't motivate his players, motivate. You think motivation wins titles? You think that's all that wins titles? We lost Saliba. It made us a massive. People say it's an excuse. You see the amounts of levels that drop from when Saliba was there and Saliba wasn't not there. With the levels when Gabriel Jesus was there to the Gabriel Jesus was not there. Things dropped. Okay, we didn't have the experience to win this league. Fair enough, say that. But to say we didn't motivate our players. You look at any interview that any player, whoever has ever. I was at the Southampton game. We were down 3-1 and we came back to 3-3. Don't give me motivation bullshit. We were down and we came back. Yeah, we should have won that game. We should have. But the fact is, we gave everything to win that game. It's not a question of motivation. We were out on our feet. We tried everything we did. Brighton home, we were not good enough. We weren't good enough. So, yeah, you can say that. The thing is, I don't lie. You sit here and say Arteta doesn't motivate our players. You don't know anything about it. You should sit here and just lie on camera. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But the fact is it's not about motivation. It's not about motivation. If it's about motivation, then Klopp is the manager of the century. He's the best manager, most motivator in the world.
You're missing something, because what he does is he doesn't have an argument over any point that we're making. He just brings up points that are irrelevant.
He doesn't talk about football. He doesn't talk about football. It's about motivation. Pep is a winner.
You know what it is? I'm going to just say my 2 cents before I read the super chats, because I want the guys who are watching the replay not watch a whole movie. You get me? So,
I lost the David Hair one.
This is what I'm going to do. I feel like Staffy was irrelevant. Hold that, Staffy. Next time I need to get Igal Karan. I'm going to get Nobbins and Hamza on, and we're gonna have one hell of a show.
Nobbins is just going to agree with us.
I'm just no. Nobbins is not.
No, but the thing is, last thing I'm going to say, right?
Listen,
I can take that Man City are a better team. I can take that they're the favourites for the title. What I can't take is lies, and I'm not going to sit here. They're not going to sit in the back and say, "Oh, Arteta doesn't motivate his players. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that."
I hear you, Karen, and that was the thing I was going to say. Look, there's some truths in what Hamza's saying. Like there is some truths in it.
Of course.
Regarding, I'm not going to say motivation, but experience. I think experience.
Yes,
experience is a genuine thing for Arsenal. Let me just run through the super chats before I do. There's 650 people still watching us right now, even an hour and a half. And make sure you're all slapping the like button. Make sure you're all subscribing to the channel. This very second, we're approaching 15k subs. We're just like 10 subscribers away. So slap that like button. Subscribe to This Is Football up here, guys. I've enjoyed. It's been one hell of a show. We're gonna run it back still. I can't lie to you. Big up to you guys, man. Slap the like button. Subscribe. AJ, this is a question for Karan because he's just gonna ruin you. I'll be honest with you. Guys, honestly, what's Rice's outstanding elite attributes? I don't think he has many, in my opinion.
you want me to go?
Yeah, go on.
Cover space at an elite level. He is a great tackler. His ability to carry through the press, his ability to play into the final third, his ability to switch play, his ability to actually track back in transition. He has the ability to go and actually play in a more possession based side because he hasn't been coached at that level. This is the level without coaching, right? This is the level at Moyes level. Okay, we're looking at someone that coached Rodri to be Rodri. Under Mikel, you can ask that, Hamza. Ask Rodri who helped him the most when he came to Man City. It was Mikel Arteta. So don't give me that shit. Then you were having someone that coached Rodri to be Rodri, and having him with Declan Rice, who was already at this level. So if you don't want to say he has elite attributes, that's fine. I just don't think you're right. And that's all that.
Okay, fair enough. Amin says, Hussam, would you swap McFred for Henderson? No, but I would gladly slap the shit out of you. But I will say thank you for the super chat. Man's trying to have me have McFred, bro. Have some shame, wallahi. Salam Hussam, I used to... Where the fuck have you been, NRL, bro? You like got married and your wife take you away from the channel. Remember, I'm more important than your wife. I'm just saying. Salam Hussam, I used to dream of the day John W. Henry's wallet opens, and now here it is. Let's hope it's not closed yet. To Ram and Ignacio. Love you, NRL. Thank you for the super chat. And listen, trust me, it ain't closed yet. The wallet is still open. My man opened his wallet. Shout out Linda Pizzuti. Mwah. We all love you, Habibti. Big up to you. Big up to you, NRL. Murad says, Hussam, akhi, I never saw so much waffle until today. I have no idea who that's referring to. Probably Hamza. So we're just going to take it at that. Big up to you, Murad. Sanjay just sent in an empty super chat. Big up to you, Sanjay Singh. Thank you. Big up to you. There says, Zinchenko is the massive issue. Game management, is Arteta ready? No. Partey makes our midfield a massive question. Martinelli will make the leap, says here to there who's an Arsenal fan. I can't lie, Zinchenko's form was called out by many Arsenal fans.
No. The thing is, this is a good point. And this is, because the thing is, I am willing to hear...
He's an Arsenal fan, by the way.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm willing to hear out valid criticism. Man management, sometimes Arteta with the substitutions can be a bit too conservative. He doesn't do substitutions as much. Completely hear that point. And I will say that is something that he has to work on. I'm willing to hear out criticisms, but what I'm not here is to do that, just hear out random stuff.
Big up Hamza and his random stuff. Make sure you're liking the video. Big up to big up here to there. AB15 was a Chelsea fan, I think. I do think he's a Chelsea fan. Arsenal fans, stay deluded. Go win something. Damn, short and sweet there,
sure.
maybe. Big up to you, Habibi. Retired Zlatan says, Hamza still roasted them like coffee beans. By the way, the result of the poll as to who won the debate was 60-40 for Hamza. So, Hamza, stay winning, my brother.
Stay winning, that's fine. I don't care about winning. I don't care about winning debates. I'll care about the points at the end of the table and the end of the year.
Herb Dean, stop the fight. Save Curran from injuries, says Albert. Big up to you, Albert. Sanjay says, you speak about experience and leadership, and in the breath you mentioned Arsenal's failures and not getting over the line. What cooking, LOL?
I mean, this is the thing. And I think people are really, really misunderstanding the points here. The points is that we season after season, we've got better and better and better and better. And the leadership and the qualities we've had in this team have gotten more and more experienced. And now we're going for a renewed push. We've gone to 50 points after 19 games. We went to multiple games that we've never won at, and we've won quite convincingly with a controlled performances time and time again. Yet we're sitting here and going, oh, but this team is going to finish third, this team is going to finish fourth, fifth, whatever, because Chelsea are spending and Liverpool are spending this and that. It's just like, look, I understand if you're going to say that the time is coming for Man City to continue going on, and if they do something, but to sit here and say like, oh, it's over because Xhaka's leaving or because this was our chance. We had a squad we were playing Rob Holding in the last 10 games of the season. That's the squad. That's the level of the squad right now. We're not there yet. We're still getting there. And this is my whole point. We're getting better, not worse. We're getting younger, not older.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry how you scapegoated. You love scapegoating. Holding didn't make it.
Holding. The thing is, right. You can say it's poor holding, but the thing is, the minute that he came into the team, the defensive line of the team dropped 10 meters. The performance of the team dropped 10 meters. You mentioned Southampton. Who conceded the first 2 goals against Southampton? The first one was a Ramsdale mistake. Second one was a holding mistake. These things matter. You have to look at the actual facts behind what you're saying. You can't just say things and assume that
there's method to the madness, basically. Method to the madness. Joe's saying 4 years is proof that Arteta has problem with dealing with games going wrong. He can't manage change.
We were one of the
I
best
think
teams
he
at coming back
changed
from
money.
behind. We were one of the best teams at coming back from behind
He
in
does.
games this season.
I
So-
feel like these are old takes that people just
This-
recycle every
Yeah.
year.
I think what they're trying to say is like sometimes when players are having a bad game, like Saka, he's undroppable, and Arteta has his favorites players. Like he refuses to drop
He didn't
Saka,
say that though.
despite like
Where did he say that?
many games. Like, let's say for example, when Pep sees his players performing poorly, I've seen Pep dropping Kevin De Bruyne against Spurs. He will drop him.
Because he
dropped
can
Mahrez.
drop Kevin De Bruyne against
He dropped Mahrez after 2 games playing bad. He dropped him. He dropped him from Bernardo, and he dropped Bernardo before that for having a poor game, one or 2 games. I remember, but Arteta's scared to do that because it's inexperience, not being able to.
Arteta's not scared of dropping Saka. He just doesn't have any other options.
Exactly.
Like,
but the thing is, it's not even that. It's not even that.
When
It's not even
Trossard
that.
came later, one second. When Trossard
We
came
dropped
later, in the
Rico
season,
Lewis, Cancelo for Rico Lewis, who's
bro,
17 at that time.
this is what you always do. You always big up Pep, but then you try to compare him to Arteta to belittle Arteta. Which one is it? Because if you're gonna big him up, why are you putting him and Arteta on the same?
I'm just saying that when you're performing poorly, you should be able to manage
And
players
you know
very
what?
well.
I agree with you.
And that's what something that Arteta will learn.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the issue you're making is you're saying a statement that has no direct correlation with what you're saying. Mikel Arteta does not have the choices and the same squad depth as Manchester City to be able to change players.
And this is one thing I will say, right? If you look at Mikel Arteta, the one thing I will say is problem. And the thing is, he has problems, and this is why I'm trying to be fair here. I'm trying to say there are problems, game management problems, squad rotation problems. There are problems there, and that's why we lost the league. The difference is I'm not dismissing us because there are problems. I'm saying we've identified, but even Mikel's identified problems. He came out at the end of the season and said we haven't used the squad enough. He's with the problems that we've identified. Acknowledge injuries as well. So we have to acknowledge that there's experience being built here, and that's the thing. We're building something.
Experience is definitely building. 100%.
It's building 100%.
The experience is like this year is gonna what builds up experience anyway. Big up to you, Joe. Once again, big up to you, love brother Mike. Let Hamza answer this one. People underestimating the loss of Gundogan.
Yeah,
I literally said that earlier.
See, the problem is, if you watch City for a long time, we've lost David Silva. We lost Yaya Toure, and it was a big loss. It was a big loss when you lost Yaya Toure. People said you can't replace players like that. We lost Fernandinho, it was a big blow. We didn't replace him. We replaced him with Calvin Phillips. But Pep can change. I've seen Pep lose Ronaldinho and Eto'o and got David Villa and Busquets from Barcelona B and made the greatest football team ever. So to me, I've got the greatest coach. Losing Gundogan, yes. But you have to move on. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make an excuse. I don't sit there making excuses. Oh, we lost Gundogan, so we're not going to win. No, we have to win the league. We have to win the Champions League. That is the standard of Manchester City Football Club. I don't care. I don't care about it.
I hear you, Hamza. I hear you. He's basically saying he trusts in Pep, which is a fair argument. Retired Zlatan says, how can one man bully 2 people? Sun Tzu strikes again. Hamza getting a lot of love from our super chatters as well. Big up to you.
No. Look, people have their opinions, and that's fine. I just came.
I didn't chat where you're actually going to answer. 1 second, because he addresses you specifically. He says, Karen, you named all off the ball attributes earlier. I don't think Rice has many elite on the ball attributes. I'm a neutral, so no dog in this race.
Not a problem. I mean, if you look at Rice's ability to switch the ball, one of West Ham's main chance creation, like their mechanisms, is Rice will pick up at the left half space into defensive third, run through, and then switch to Bowen. That's literally one of their. I can name plenty of times, but one of his main things is his switches. He switches the ball at an elite level. His passing accuracy is consistently over 88 to 90% every single season. And people don't realize that because they just look at him as a work dog off the ball, which is fine. And the only thing I'll say is, look, you can't go into a debate with a Man City fan and be like, "Oh, it's 100% going to be you're talking." Just all I was saying, and this is the main thing I'll say again, is it's not about Man City. Man City are the favourites. Let's not be like beat around the bush or anything like that. They are the favourites of the best team in the world. Not a problem. The problem I had was that suddenly that this whole Arteta can't do this, and this is a team that's going to fall off, and there's no experience, and this and that. That I don't understand why the need is to do that, because the thing is, Hamza, you yourself were scared of us at some point of the season. You know you were. I can go pull up the December video before the World Cup. I know that video. I know
Be
exactly
careful
that
of
video.
copyright infringement.
So no, but the point is
probably
I
has
don't understand this whole who cares about Arsenal? They're going to do B shit and there's no experience. There's nothing. You yourself know that's not true, Hamza. This is not something that I'm going to say is we're definitely 100% going to win the league, but we have a massive shot to win it, and this is going to be an interesting season. We spent a lot of money, and we're going to be back there next season. And the one thing that separated us from the title past season, the right centre back who went down, unfortunately, we've got a new winning. So we'll have to see what happens this next season.
Okay, fair enough. Last 3 super chats. IB7 says Arsenal fans are unbearable. Big up Hussam and Hamza. Big up to you, IB7, for the super chat. I think this summer and during the season we found out that Man United fans are indeed the most unbearable. Big up to you, IB7. Sanjay says last manager to get 650 million with no experience. And there's another Arteta question. Big up to you, Sanjay, from Murad. So you guys just answer both before we wrap up. Murad says, would Pep sub Haaland off for Nketiah by his logic?
Why would he? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what? So this is the point. We don't have the same quality in depth that Man City do, and that's another thing that would be in their favor. That's another thing in their favor. That's the thing. I've always said they are the favorite.
I think this was the response to Hamza, by the way.
No, the thing is
about Arteta's management.
He's fantastic at good game. He knows how to manage players. I saw him at Barca. Saw Diaya, got Busquets, got Pedro from the youth team, got rid of Eto'o, Ronaldinho. This guy, he bought Alves from Sevilla for 16 million. He made a new team. He can do anything. I've seen him drop big, but he said the only player I've never dropped is Messi. So I've seen what Pep Gvardiol expects discipline and expects hard work from his players. And if they don't show that, he'll bench them. But I've seen Arteta. I think Arteta's the inexperience. It will come with experience. The guy's never won the league. This is his first set being a manager for Arsenal Football Club. He's never managed before. So he's learning on the job. And I think, you know what? Big up to Arteta what he's done. But from what I saw in April, to May, and what I saw from Pep around April, May, when it was pressure, we had to beat Bayern, Real Madrid, and also win all our games in the Premier League and beat you as well. What he did, he just showed me how he managed his players. He did well.
He did very well.
Despite we having the most players in the World Cup, and he managed it so well with our score being limited. We lost Cancelo.
Yeah, no. Let's be clear. He did brilliantly. Pep did absolutely brilliantly. This isn't a knock on Pep. It's nothing to do with Pep. It's nothing to do with Man City. Amazing manager, amazing players, an amazing team. It's nothing to do with Pep and nothing to do with Man City. The only reason I came on was to say that Arsenal should not be viewed as this sort of like this team is just going to fade away, because the main point you mentioned. No, but you did.
Bro, you did say that.
You did say that.
We're not going to say you'll fade away, but we're saying that you guys are expected to win the league, yes, for how much money you spend. But I believe you capitulate because you will not deliver under pressure.
So that's literally fading away. What are you saying here? I don't understand.
I believe you're going to finish third.
So that's fading. We finished second, and then we're finishing third. That's fading away.
Yeah, okay, failure in your point. Okay, fine. Yeah, you're going to fail.
So but this is the thing. So my whole thing is, and this is the same thing I've said the entire time.
Why are you just
it's like this is the same thing I've said the entire time. Look, this is a squad on the rise. This is a squad that's getting older. It's a squad getting better. It's also losing the older players to bring in younger, more talented players. This is a team that will be rejuvenated and keep going again next year. And that's look. He can have his opinion. That's the only reason I came on.
Look at this fucking Hamza Defense League in the comment section.
It's fine. Look, people are allowed their views. I have no problem with Hamza, anyone. Let him have his views. If he wants to call himself whatever he wants to call himself, not a problem. My whole thing is Arsenal Football Club are not fading away. We're just getting started. That's the only reason.
Okay, I hear you. Listen, I need to run this back. I'm gonna be honest with you. Someday, probably not make it 11 p.m. because these things never last an hour, like as always intended. But this was an unbelievable debate. Big up to Santzu. Big up to Igal, big up to Karan for joining us on the channel. Absolutely unbelievable show. There's 600 people watching us even towards the end. Make sure you guys are liking, make sure you guys are subscribing. Shout out goes out to IB7, Ash, Mike, AB15, here to there, Sanjay, NRL, Amin, AJ, Albert, Joe, Murad, Buck, Ozan, Nadra, Arbens, and the other AJ for the super chat. Beep just says, bottle harder, Karan, silicone chest. Damn, Beep, you don't have to go in like that.
That's fine. Look, but we'll see you next year.
We'll see.
Every season, there's another season coming afterwards.
In the
Don't
words
worry
of
about
Fabrizio
it.
Romano, we will see who lied. Big up to you, Beep, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support chat. Big up everyone as well. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're liking right now. Make sure you're subscribing. We're just 5 subs away from 15K. We want to get there, so keep hitting that subscribe button, that notification bell. We're going to go around the lovely panel that can let you know where you can find them. Hamza, my brother, you fought hard for 2 hours. Where can people find you, Akhi?
You can find me in Twitter, and this year I'm gonna have to make a YouTube channel, Hamza Talks Ball. So you might find me there. I haven't started making videos yet. But
Big up to you, Hamza, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Igal, Warrior, all stream long. Where can people find you?
Listen, Hamza, you shouldn't be called Talk Ball. It should be called Talk Agendas. But you're my guy.
No.
You're my guy. But listen, yeah, my channel is called Eagle Talks Football. You guys can check it out there. We're on the road to 25K, so check us out. And of course, tomorrow I'm gonna have former Arsenal player and Arsenal presenter Adrian Clark. So check us out 3 o'clock tomorrow. I'm gonna have Adrian Clark on the channel.
Well done, Igal. Well done. Proud of you. Make sure you go, guys. Subscribe to Igal Talks Football. I'm always in that comment section as well. I roasted Rax today. He went on to represent Liverpool with no chest. Rax, I'm coming for you, Rax. I'm coming for you. Karan, my brother, late entry, like Divock Origi in the Champions League final. Where can people find you?
Look, you can find me at Karan BP on Twitter. Look, I have, as I said last stream, this isn't something that I take personally or anything like that. I just found it infuriating seeing that my club are being relegated to sort of other man's. But fair enough. If you wanna have that opinion, that's your opinion. We'll see who lied at the end of the day. So you can find me there. You can find me at Ball Over Passion on YouTube, and you can find me on various streams. I come on and talk a bit. But yeah, we'll see what happens next.
Big up to you, Karan, man. Always welcome here. Always welcome Igal. Always welcome Hamza. There's a third world, by the way, we didn't discuss, which is a Liverpool-Arsenal title race, because that one would bank too. So make sure you guys are liking, make sure you guys subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. If not able to upload tomorrow, inshallah, after tomorrow. Yalla, peace out.